Hey guys, welcome back to Vanguard Strikes. Just thought I'd touch base on some spoilers, just specifically around those kind of Tully Cavalry that we can see coming out. So, FYI, this will be spoilers. You can already see it on the screen. Said there were spoilers, so if you haven't looked away, this is now on you. But I did want to touch base around some of the rules and the costing and all that kind of stuff because there's a little bit of conjecture around how much they should cost, how much people think they're going to break the Starks or they're going to add to the Starks. I think they're a good unit. And so what I want to do is go through some of the rules right now. Obviously, you've got the cavalry, which is pretty standard. Everyone can make a free maneuver. Each thing has 3 wounds. On the left-hand side, you can see that their movement is 5. They hit on a 3+ with a lance. They get 6 dice or 4 dice. If they've got a full rank or if they're down a rank, they have a 3+ save with a 5+ leadership. You can look at the lance. The lance is quite cool. When charging, this attack rolls +3 dice, gains critical blow, rolls of 60 or 2 hits, and sundering. Enemies suffer -1 to their defense rolls. But I think the real kicker for the Tully Cavaliers is Embolden. So while within short range of this unit, other friendly units gain +1 to morale test rolls. That's amazing. So they're really good to stick in the center of your lines and just allow your Stark infantry to go from that leadership 6 to leadership 5, or your, Umber Berserkers to go from that leadership 4 to leadership 3. So they're really great. I mean, if you put them on top of a Weirwood, that would just be amazing. But I think the biggest spoiler here is the fact that they're going to cost 9 points. So there's a big bit of conjecture around the fact that people think they should cost more than 10. I don't think so. I think 9 points is really well costed, and I will explain why just by kind of looking at the other cavalry options that we've got and then going through and sharing those with you. So, I mean, these are the current 4 cavalry options that we have. So we've got our Night's Watch Ranger Trackers that are worth 6 points right now. Movement 6, short range bows, better at shooting than they are at fighting, 5 up save, 6 up leadership. Then we move into your slightly heavier cavalry again, 6-inch move with the Stark Outriders, 8 attacks, 5 attacks, hitting on 4s, so combat ability is still the same as these Ranger Trackers, but they have a slightly better armor save. Leadership is the same, and then they've got their Order Swift Retreat and Rapid Assault. So, slightly different. I mean, I did forget the Order Mark Target, which is also quite good, but they play kind of different roles. And then this is where we start to then get into that heavier kind of cavalry that's sort of almost on par with the Tully Cavalry. So you've got your Knights of Casterly Rock. Again, they've dropped their move back to 5, which is the same as before. I'll go into this in a little bit more detail. Their lance attacks are the same, except for they have 1 less attack once their ranks are depleted. So obviously they're not. Well, I say obviously they're potentially not as good knights. Their leadership is up by 1, but they still have that 3 up save, and they've got that Lannister supremacy. So we all know these rules. But when a unit is attacked and passes when this unit is attacked and passes its panic test, the attacker must make a panic test with -2 to their roll. And then finally, you've got the heavy hitters of the game, 10 points, Housebolt and Flayman, 2 up armor save, 6 up leadership, 8 attacks and 6 attacks, constantly hitting on 3s. They've already got critical blow and vicious, and then they spread fear. So every time an enemy engaged with this unit fails a panic check, one other enemy at long range of the unit becomes panicked. So that's a really big 12-inch kind of bubble from the unit that you're attacking, which is excellent. So I wanted to have a look at the kind of comparison at the moment. So remembering that Ranger Trackers are 6 points, House Tully Cavaliers are worth 9 points. I definitely think that House Tully Cavaliers will be used, but I don't think you'll see more than 1 unit in a game, just like you won't see more than 1 kind of House Bolton unit in the game. And my personal opinion is that they're always going to stay in the middle of the table, purely just to keep things alive, or there might even be a little bit of sort of backfield, but they have some excellent offensive capabilities. So being able to jump your way into any kind of unit, roll 9 dice, hitting on 3s, is a lot better than being able to roll 8 dice hitting on 4s. Again, when we start comparing them to their other cavalry counterparts for the Starks, I would imagine seeing both of these units on the table. I mean, I think I would field both of these units because they look very interesting, and I think they could work quite well together, especially being able to do a sort of hammer and anvil style, holding up a unit. Tully Cavalry comes in, Stark Outriders retreat. But this is, my initial thoughts were that they would probably be 8 points instead of 9, purely because of how similar they are to the Knights of Casterly Rock, except for, well, they're practically identical, except for they've got one better leadership and a different special rule. And I'm not sure which I like better, to be honest. I mean, Embolden is good, but it is within short range, so it is only that kind of 6-inch bubble. So any 40k players that are playing this, you're used to that. But the Lannister supremacy, I guess the downside of that is that it only affects the units that it is engaged with, whereas the House Tully Cavaliers give you a little bit more kind of maneuverability or flexibility or freedom to be able to add the morale. But then I think they definitely needed to be less than 10 points. The fact that they don't have a 2-up save, the fact that they only gain critical blow when they're charging, the fact that they have either 9 attacks or 7 attacks as opposed to 8 and 6. I mean, sure, but that's only on the charge. Otherwise, if they're caught, they're flanked or anything like that, their attacks are quite low and they're not really that strong. So they're not... Yeah, whereas, your Housebolt and Flayed Men, they can either charge or be charged, and they still do quite well. And then I think the spread fear, the fact that it's long range, that it's 12 inches, is a little bit better than obviously having that short range Embolden. Not that I'm saying Embolden should be 12 inches, I think 6 inches is enough. But yeah, this is the kind of review that we've come to. I definitely agree with the 9 points, but if you disagree, please, like the video, comment below, let me know why, because obviously I'm more than happy to hear other people's thoughts on this matter. Thanks for watching. Bye.